Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're looking live. The Calamity Jones Hour. I'm Mandy Jones, and I'm a stand-up comedian and podcaster. Once a month, I produce this show. It's an hour long. I'm going to talk for a minute, and then I bring a guest on. Just want to tell you about some upcoming shows. We're located in Long Island, New York, on Long Island in New York. So these shows are in Nassau and Suffolk County. If you're around Long Island, try to get to a live comedy show. We do free comedy shows one Monday a month at the Avenue in West Hempstead. We're having free shows on January 22nd as well as February 12th. Come down to those shows. And if you're a comic, come down, and if you support the show, you sit and are an audience member at a following show, we get a spot. You get a chance to perform. So that's how we keep it going. And then the only other show I want to promote is on Valentine's Day, the day before my birthday. I will be in Farmingdale. I can't even say the name of the club, for a Valentine's Day special show. So if you go to my page, check out the link tree, you can get tickets to those events, or if you check out Facebook, you could see all those events. This is episode 53 of this show. Like I said, I have a friend coming on, and it's January 17, 2024. First show of this year, actually. That was a pretty good one. I didn't know which one was going to come out. All right, so if she's ready, without further ado, I'm going to bring my friend on here. She doesn't do stand-up comedy, but you would, if you're a stand-up comic on Long Island, you know this woman. She's a fellow podcaster and is married to a comedian. So we're going to introduce my friend, and now yours, Miss Nancy Rizzuti. Woo!
Yay! Yay!
Woo! That's the random scream button.
I love it.
When I get awkward, I just usually hit that.
I absolutely love it.
So welcome to...
All right, we got to get one of those.
That was good. That was a long one. All right. So most shows we ask, the biological, the history of you, but I kind of like the first date fun nonsense questions. So the real stuff usually slips in, but most of my questions are like fun, light. You could pass on anything, honestly, at any time.
I love the biological part. Biological.
Your biological history.
My biological history.
Well, wait a minute. Real quick. Have you done Ancestry.com? Has anybody in your family done Ancestry.com?
Yes.
You did?
No.
But somebody in your family?
Yes.
Okay, so you have a pretty good map of what's going on?
Oh, yeah. Where I came from and everything besides the egg and the sex and all that stuff. No, I know everything about my history.
Oh, okay. That's interesting, because I had said to my dad, I was like, I'm kind of interested in the whatever. And he goes, just do what you got to do. So that was a very negative light on that. So I'm like, I don't know if I do want to find out what's in my...
Just the way he said that, I'm like, why are you saying it that way, Dad?
Yeah, seriously. Now are we going to get the, that's how they find murderers when they...
Hey, you never know.
When somebody starts. But we'll get back to the real stuff. First question. I know you have a son. I know he's a big movie buff, and one of my questions is, what's a movie you'll never get sick of?
Probably the one I just watched again for probably the 30th or 40th time. And it's going to blow your mind. The Day After Tomorrow with Randy Quaid.
I don't know that movie.
Oh my goodness,
I've never seen that, I don't think.
So
it's post-apocalyptic?
Yeah, it's about climate change.
Okay.
Before any of this actually started happening.
Glenn's going to tell me I've seen that movie, but I really would have to see it again to remember which one it is.
All right, so it's Dennis Quaid. It's 1994 it came out.
Okay.
All right, so it's about a scientist, basically, that discovers climate change. This is all going to happen, and it happens a lot sooner. It wasn't supposed to happen in his time. It was supposed to happen decades, but it happens 1, 2, 3. And then there's this big tsunami that goes over New York City, and it's cold and it's winter and everything freezes. And they end up going to the big New York library. It's coming back to you now, isn't it?
I feel like I might have only seen the trailers. I feel like the wave over like the skyscrapers, I've definitely.
Oh, it is. It's before its time.
Yeah,
Cinematically before its time and everything. I mean, everything about it, and it makes you really think about climate change a lot more. And then you say, wait, this was from 1994, and stuff in this movie is happening today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's that. But I mean, I love Gone with the Wind, and
And that I've actually never seen.
Okay.
No,
So
I know
we're
that's
on a roll here.
but that's a classic. That's like me and Glenn are always trying to watch like the classics that
There's so much out there.
everyone must see movies.
Well, my son fills me in on every movie that's going to be in the theater and we have every streaming channel that there is. I mean, we have big TV, all that, and he's into all of that. I mean, that's his life. That's what he lives for. My son sees a movie. He sees every movie that comes out.
Did he see Wonka yet? The night it came
Twice.
out. Yeah, he liked it.
Yeah,
Obviously.
we saw it. We
Okay,
went
we
and
didn't
saw
go
it.
yet.
That was our New Year's Eve movie.
Oh, that's fun.
We went to see that, and then we went home, changed, and went out to dinner.
Oh.
We do that every year.
Oh, what a nice tradition.
Yeah, that's what we do every year. But he does all that. He works. No, he's got his own business, and he works for somebody too.
Okay.
I don't want to get too much into that because Mommy's gonna say something wrong. You know it.
Well, second question. What's your favorite thing about being a mom?
All right. So I'm going to be 72 in a couple of months. I know I look fabulous, but and it's not really all the Botox. But what's my favorite thing about being a mom? Well, when I was a mom, because my son's 30.
You're still a mom.
Well,
but all right, when
no,
he was
because
little,
he does live with me still. So yeah, I am still a mom. And my favorite thing right now is keeping my mouth shut, even though I know I want to give him the good advice and tell him, guide him the right way. But I know in my head it's going to be an argument. Keep your mouth shut. Become tape mouth. Once they hit a certain age, it's very difficult for kids this day and age to go out and get an apartment. I can't believe how much, as he was actually looking for one today in Babylon. But a decent apartment in a decent area, 2 bedrooms, $3,000.
Oh, it's insane.
I said, stay home and save your money and buy a house.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But being a mom, having a child at 41 years old, I was ready. I don't think that anybody, I'm not going to, no, I can't say that. I don't think anybody should have children older, but you should get everything you want to get done before you get married, and then be married and get everything you want to get done before you even think about having a children, because once you have a child, they consume you.
Yes.
They consume, and it's a sacrifice, because you're not going to be able to do a lot of things until after they're older and either out of the house or they're older and you can start doing things. And by then, you can't do everything. Like, I'd love to go skydiving and go water skiing and do all that stuff that I did when I was younger. I can't do that anymore. Yeah. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to get on a horse. Although Tom Neely and Vicky want me to come down to North Carolina, I ain't getting on that horse, honey. I will get in the wagon that the horse is going to be pulling. That's going to be it. I can't do it.
Yeah, well, they're animals. My dad always said the horses don't have brakes. I
No.
don't like them. They don't have brakes.
Actually, where I was in a school bus accident, not my fault. Long story. Not even going to discuss it. I was rear-ended at a red light, and I had serious back surgery. I've got 4 poles and 9 screws in my back. Yeah.
Were there kids on the bus?
No, thank God.
Oh God!
No.
Wow.
And it was a short bus. I drove the short bus. So the damage was extensive and was painful, and it was 3 years of learning how to walk again.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it was intense. But Tom was my attorney, and he was thrown off a horse many, many years before, and he rides beautifully now. He is the one that found the surgeon for me that did the surgery, because he was a young surgeon at that time, which I can't mention his name, but he's in Hicksville. And if you want it, just contact me. Um, I am fantastic now. I am fine. And most people that have this kind of surgery it's horrible. They just never get over it. They're in pain constantly. I'm not gonna say I don't get in pain every now and then. Everybody does once you're over the age of 70. The weather gets lousy, and it's like, oh, you
70.
wake up.
I'm 33. I got an achy back.
Right, you get an achy back. You wake up in the morning and you go, oh, what was that? Or I walk and I go, was that the floor or my ankle? This happens, and I guess at any age that can happen. But what was your question?
Your favorite thing about being mom. All right, how'd you meet Benny?
Oh, now there's a story.
Benny and
Okay,
the Jets.
so there's a story. So when we were in the studio, I said last month or something, Emily and Kathy have a podcast.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah, see you next Tuesday.
Yes.
Anyway, Kathy was sick, and we were just done because they were on right after us, and we were just with the Good Show, by the way, and we were just done right after. And she was waiting for Carla to come, and Carla had just done a gig, and she was on her way there, and she's talking and talking and talking, and I'm like, this poor girl, she's doing the whole show by herself, and I'm like, step in, Nancy. So I stepped in, and you got to see it; it's hilarious. That was the question.
Oh my God.
Oh my God! It was probably the best hits they've got on their show. So here,
I didn't even know this.
Okay, so here we go, folks. True story. All right, just freshly separated, legally separated from my first husband of 10 years, no children. All right, a friend of mine, Frank, rest in peace. He passed away not that long ago. He says to me, you got to get out of the apartment. We had sold the house. Get out of the apartment, get out of your bleh, and come over to Fire Island. He goes, have a nice weekend and have fun, stuff like that over at Ocean Bay Park. I'm like, all right, fine. So I go. He goes, there's this bartender. He goes, I'm not sure if he's gay or straight. And I'm like, really, Frank, you've been gay all your life. I've been hanging with you all your life. We have worked together because I was a hairdresser and I owned my own salon for 17 years in Roslyn. And Frank and I always worked together. You don't know if a guy is gay? Come on. He goes, no, I really don't know. I think he's just kind of playing with me because I'm a big tipper. I said, yeah, if I was a bartender and I was straight, and I said I would do the exact same thing for big tips. All right, let's go sing. So we went upstairs to this place in Ocean Bay Park called Skimmers. And at that time I was 50 pounds thinner, pretty gorgeous, long hair. He was skinny, full head of hair, really good looking. I can't begin to tell you the difference that has happened over the last 32 years. But anyway, walk in, and it was like one of those things, like the door opens and you see a bartender. And he was like, the door opened and it was like the spotlight went on you when you walked in the room. This is how we really tell each other. And I sat down and I ordered my martini.
Oh my God.
And he made the best vodka martini. And I'm smiling at him and he's smiling at me and he's walking back and forth. And it was busy. So I'm talking to him. Frank's talking to him. And I said, but he's like, would you like a shrimp cocktail? And I said, no, I really can't afford a shrimp cocktail. I'm looking at the menu I'm on Fire Island. At that time, I think it was $18. Now it's probably $75. And so talking to him, Frank's talking to him and everything. Music's playing. We get up and dance. We sit back down. I have another martini. And then I'm talking to him and I turned and I said to Frank, can you curse on this show?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I said to Frank, honey, I said, not only is he straight, but I'm going to fuck the hell out of this guy. And of course, yeah, we're together 32 years now.
Wow.
So I must have fucked the hell out of that man because we're together 32. You know what? I got to remember he's watching. Anyway, we didn't have sex right away. Don't get me wrong. We didn't have sex right away. We kind of courted for about a week. And then he came over to Long Island, took me out to dinner, and then we fucked like rabbits. And then we just kept fucking like rabbits, like crazy, and I got pregnant. I got pregnant pretty quick. Well, I got pregnant very quickly. There's a story behind that one, which I really can't get into for legal reasons. And then I said to him, well, we only knew each other a couple of months. I know 3-4 months. And I said, I'm okay. I have a job. I'm financially all right. I want to move in together, whatever. I saw where he lived. I said, well, we'd move into my place, not your place. Definitely. It was on the water above a garage. I was like, no, it's not happening. It was like a dive. I'm sorry, Betty, but the place sucked. So we moved into my apartment, and then we had his parents come over. This is funny. We had his parents come over to meet his girlfriend. And I think they thought that they were gonna say, I'd like you to meet my girlfriend, we're gonna get married. But no, it was like, this is my girlfriend and we're having a baby. Now, I mean, this is going back 32 years ago. Parents were like, they loved it. They were like so happy.
Oh,
and
that's
I
great.
literally fell in, because my family's all over the place now. Most of them have since passed. He has an enormous family here, right in Babylon. And no, we're not in Babylon, but it's right over there. And he's got his wonderful Italian family. And I fell in love with his family instantly. I mean, we still are. Great family. And that was it. I mean, we stayed together. We went from apartment to apartment to apartment. Then we got a condo. Then we ended up getting a house in Islip. When we're there 22 years this summer.
Perfect.
Yeah. Go ahead, ask me the next question.
Next question.
Each one's going to be a half hour long.
Your parents, what did they do for work when you were a kid?
All right. So, my father passed away when I was 5. He was a New York City police officer, and he also part-time worked as a conductor on the Long Island Railroad. So my mom had a Long Island Railroad and police officer pension. My brother was already married and had children and lived, I don't know, wherever he lived then. And he said, my mother wanted to go back to work. She was a buyer in Manhattan. She worked for some places I'm not even there anymore, but like Bergdorf Goodman's and stuff like that. She was a buyer. She bought the designer clothes. And
Oh, wow, okay.
yeah, no, she really was classy. Always dressed just like the old movies, the My Father Knows Best and everything, where you would come home and the woman would be in the dress with the high heels, with the full makeup and the fancy apron. That was my mother. But she decided, my brother said, my brother, when she was working, he lived with my aunt in Brook, and my aunt Grace and Uncle Chris raised my brother, as my mother worked and lived in Manhattan. And she did all that Manhattan stuff. He wanted me to be raised on Long Island and have a different kind of a life. I would have liked to have been in Manhattan, but all right. Too late now. My life would have been totally different if my father didn't pass away, for sure. I would have went to college. I would have become probably a lawyer, because that's what I always wanted to do. And my mom ended up selling Avon. Okay. And my mother was one of the first, well, not one of the first, because it was like from 1908, I think Avon started. But my mother was one of the first big Avon ladies and became, the head Avon lady, that had other Avon ladies underneath her.
Okay.
All right. And that supported me. That was her selling Avon supported me.
And she never remarried?
No, that was her third marriage.
Okay.
She was pretty much done. Just like, okay, that's it. We're done. My husband, my brother's father, I mean, my life is, I should write a book.
You should.
My brother and I, 18 years apart, and he had passed away in 1999. He left my mom and him when my brother was 8 years old and went to Texas and became a millionaire. My mother never pursued it. The papers came, she signed them, that was it. The last thing my brother remembered was that he got an authentic cowboy outfit, real expensive, for his 10th birthday. It was the last time he ever heard from his father. And then when he was older, he looked him up, and he got right in front. It was like Dallas, where there was the big gates and the long driveway with the big mansion way down there. Got to the gates, and he said he could never do it because here's this man. He's got a whole other family, grandchildren and everything else. Someone going to come and say, hi, I'm your long-lost son. I haven't seen you in 60-something years. So, yeah, so, and then she got married to somebody else after that, who turned out to, and I didn't find this out until I was in my, 40s, who was a bigamist. He was married to several women.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's when she lived in Manhattan. That was between my brother's father and mine.
Yeah.
She met this guy. I don't think they were married all that long. That was like a hush-hush thing in the family. You
Oh,
don't
my
tell
God.
anybody about that. I mean, all these people are gone now, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, that was really hush stuff. You didn't talk about that. But that was it. That's what she did. But she was also a telephone operator.
Okay.
When she was younger, the old-fashioned telephone where you go on the roller skates, on the wood, and you plug in the plugs and stuff like that. And they had the thing, like, hear that you spoke and all that stuff. Like, hear like you spoke. That made sense. You had,
Yeah.
like the way Lily Tomlin did it back in the day. You know what I'm talking about out there, Lily Tomlin. You know who she was. She was on Saturday Night Live. No, she was on another thing, and she did that whole bit with the telephone operator. Next question. I told you every question you're going to have. My whole life story I'm doing on TV right now.
That's how I like. That's how I like. What is your favorite Halloween costume you ever did? And if you never really did,
Okay, so there's a picture of me on one of my group pages. I think, and it's such an old group page. Something about comics. Comics AA. I think it's Comedians AA. I don't know. It's a group page that I have no control over, but I keep putting posts on it because I had gotten hacked. So there's a whole bunch of pages that I just keep posting, but I have no control. It was a witch Halloween costume that I had made this hat that I got the idea when I went to Salem, Massachusetts, used to go there for years. And the whole costume was like dribs and drabs of things that I saw in Salem, Massachusetts. And it was something that you would see on Hocus Pocus.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I honestly, that Salem is on my list of one of the places I want to check out.
It's not as good as it was when I used to go there because it got really commercial.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
So they took this whole one section of where they did things and everything, and they built a big hotel right in the middle of town.
Okay.
But they still do things there. I won't poo-poo it because there's a witch that you can find on social media, and I forgot her name, and she will probably be mad because I'm such a fan. But she's hilarious, and she runs around the whole town and does all these things, and she's phenomenal. She's a star up there. But the things that they do for the month of Halloween is, you have to make a reservation a year in advance if you're going to go in October.
Yeah.
You
I know
know?
That's the thing. It's like, I feel like, why else go,
Yeah. Well, I finally got my husband to go, and my girlfriend and her husband, and both of them don't like to travel. It rained the entire freaking weekend
God.
we were there. But we drank, and we ate, and we had fun, and we met these people at this restaurant that just opened there, which I don't remember the name of that one either, but he got all this everything of fish that you ate was caught that morning.
Wow.
Tony Ladolfi would have had a ball there. He would have, because the fishing there is amazing. It's incredible. But yeah, I recommend it. Go to the Gables. There is a lot to see, and there's a whole all about the witches and stuff like that. What's true and not true, and the hanging tree and all that. There's a lot to see. You don't have to be there in October.
Okay.
I mean, my suggestion was you go like in August. You go in November really, because you're not really, I don't want to, go to the beginning of October. But you have to if you're going to stay in town, you're going to make a reservation.
All right.
Yeah, it's so fun. That's a great place to go for Halloween. That and Terrytown. Terrytown does the Headless Horseman.
Okay.
It's one
That's
of...
New York?
Tarrytown, New York.
Yeah.
All right.
What's it? Ichabod Crane?
Yes, yes, and it's Ichabod Crane. It's just over the bridge. You get a hotel room, and they do this enormous thing. You have to get tickets in advance, and you wait. You walk around this whole real forest, and then they do this whole forest scary thing with the Civil War and tents and blood and professional actors and everything, and you got it's all like, and at the end of it, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, at the end, and it's really scary. My girlfriend was screaming the whole time. I was loving it. I love haunted houses. Giant headless horseman on a horse, like I mean huge headless horseman on a horse. That is that, and then you go through. They have the grave, the night walk, which I was kind of healing at the time from my back surgery, but I did a lot of, because it's like uphill, downhill, uphill. And they do this whole scary night walk with all these unbelievable statues. I swear to God, I saw dead people.
They hired actual ghosts.
I think they hired actual ghosts. I saw right through them. That was Tarrytown, New York in October.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right.
Next question.
Putting it on my list.
What's the time? Let's see. We're doing good.
What is the key to a happy marriage?
The key to a happy marriage. Separate bedrooms.
Do you guys really have separate bedrooms?
Separate bedrooms.
Do you really?
Separate bedrooms. Let me say this. The rich people, wealthy people, and I'm talking Vanderbilts and stuff like that, a group of us went, and I've gone a couple of times, to Newport, Rhode Island, where they have all the mansions, the Vanderbilts and this and that. I mean, another trip you and your husband should go on, take another couple. Oh my God. Go. It's an island. It's just gorgeous. There are all these, the town itself is incredible, fantastic, fun, all these old ships and boats, but the mansions that you walk through, they're all on the water, all breathtaking, like you've never seen mansions in your life. Separate bedrooms, separate bedrooms, separate bedrooms,
separate wings.
I was going to say, they had separate wings. We just have, I mean, we have the downstairs between us, Hey, if you're going to do anything, you do it, and then you go to your room. Just go to your room. That is the key. That's it.
All right.
It's simple.
All right. What? I didn't know that was what you were going to say.
Yeah, well, there you go. And patience. You're going to have a lot of patience.
Yeah, that one I'm learning.
Yeah, you have to have a lot of patience because, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's true, men are fucking stupid. Okay? And I don't want to say stupid like you're not intelligent. You're intelligent. It's just that, and I have I spermed a boy, whatever you say it. Here's the thing. This is the thing. Men are born without this one little thing in their brain. They don't have it. They didn't get it. God did not give it to them. They gave it double to us. And that's just called common sense. Okay? Men don't have any common sense. They don't even know what common sense means. They're hard workers. They do all the other things that a man's supposed to do. However, a woman can do every fucking thing that a man can do. Everything. There's nothing that a woman, today's woman, can do. Come on, there's going to be a woman president eventually.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually disappointing that we haven't had one yet.
Yeah, no, we're going to have a female president. I don't know if I'll still be alive to see it, but we will have there's queens. Look at how long the queen...
yeah, no, hopefully, I would hope in my lifetime. Yeah. Come on, guys.
We have a female vice president.
Well, yeah, so we're getting there, getting closer.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer, but... No, I mean, I love men. I do. But if I'm going to go away and stuff like that, I go with my girlfriends. That's another thing. You have to have separate vacations. You've got to have a girlfriend. I have two girlfriends that I travel with, Kathy and Linda. And Kathy is not a gambler. Linda is. So, we do our separate vacations. And with Linda, I do the casino thing. And with Kathy, we do, other things. But Linda just retired, so now we'll start doing more things. Hi, Linda. You better be watching.
Best gift you've ever gotten?
My son.
Oh,
my son.
That's
nice.
Easy. That's nice. Favorite holiday tradition?
Our favorite holiday tradition generally, I want to say it's New Year's Eve because
Yeah.
it's like, I love it. We go and see a really good movie and then we go to a really expensive restaurant with good food because my husband's so freaking cheap. But God love him. I mean, he does what he's good. He's good. And he's very patient, especially with me. But I make him. Matter of fact, we talked about it on our show when we had our show a couple of weeks ago. I was on antibiotics. I couldn't drink. That was $100 right off the bill.
Yeah.
He was so happy.
Yeah, I was saying to Glenn the other day because we went to some concerts the 28th and the 29th. We went to 2 concerts, and I like to buy like a T-shirt, or I bought like the skull cap. Like I like to buy, and I'm like, I don't drink alcohol, so I'm like, that's right off the. He's like, yeah, I spent like $100 at the bar. I'm like, yeah, so that's where I get to spend my little bit of money. And
right, and because I wasn't drinking, I had an appetizer and I had a dessert. Mm-hmm. And I could barely even finish that dessert. But I ate it anyway. Creme brulee.
Very nice.
Because I wanted to see them light it on fire.
Favorite game? And you can interpret this in many ways.
You can interpret this in many ways. Well, let's see. If I interpret it from when I was younger, it's going to be a lot different than now. So sometimes I babysit.
Okay.
And make a little extra money. Not much, but, it's nice to do occasionally. And I like Uno.
Yes.
I like playing Uno.
Yes, Uno's a great game.
I like Uno. I like those card games. But basically, I like the slot machines, which you don't do this anymore. You just sit there and you go boing, boing, boing. You hit the button. But yeah, I like. I'm going to Vegas in April.
I love Vegas.
Yeah, I was only there I was there when I was a kid, and then for my 70th birthday, I went there. And Benny won't go there, and now we're going in April, and it's a kind of business type, but it's going to be fun. And I have a certain amount of money that I will spend on gambling a day. If I do it and it's gone, then it's gone. I'm very controlled with that.
Well, that's good.
But we always, before we go out to dinner or lunch for that matter, we're on, we don't do it for breakfast. I don't think we will anyway. We go to the machine. We find a girl. We ask for 2 drinks or a double. We put in the 20, see how far it goes, because the drinks are free. And then we're bummed. We don't have to spend $20, $30 per drink when we go out to dinner.
Yes.
We barely make it to dinner. I love it. I'm so excited. I can't wait to go.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Piece of advice. Best piece of advice.
Piece of advice that I would give to the world. All right? This is to the world.
Listen up, guys.
From somebody that has been there, done that, and been there and done that again. I lived in, and I'll tell you, I lived in Miami for a few years, but I was born and raised here in Mineola. I had my own business for 17 years. I lived in Manhattan at that time for 17 years with my friend Frank. And my ex-husband was a traveler, and that's what we did. So I've been everywhere. My best piece of advice is do as much as you can do, and don't let anything hold you back from, if you want to travel, if you want a house, and don't work for something so hard that you're going to miss out on the fun. Don't save all your money and kill yourself and just make yourself house poor or apartment poor. All right? You want to be able to, everyone should take 2 major vacations every year for at least 10 days, if it's possible. You can get off of work for 10 days, at least a week. Every couple, whether you're married or not, gay, whatever, I don't care. You need to travel. You need to travel without your children. Just remember that you have life insurance and everything's together when you travel without your children, because you just never know. But, and don't have a freaking baby before you're 35. That's it. That is it.
So I'm on the right track.
I had a baby at 41. No problem. Well, I was in labor forever. And then I just grabbed the nurse and said, get the doctor and take the son of a bitch out. I'm like, the kid's been crowning for the last 5 hours. It's not coming out this way. And then I had a C-section.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah. And Benny was right there. You know, I mean, we weren't married. We didn't get married till he was 4.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I had to get divorced first. That took a while.
Details.
What I care, the world knows. I don't care.
No. It's so common now. My God.
Yeah.
Worst job you ever had?
Oh, I've had a couple. But the worst job that I ever had, it stands right there, and I can't say any names or anything like that. So I got to be very vague and serious about this. So I was a professional nanny for a while.
Okay.
And I've been babysitting and doing that off and on most of my life to make extra money, because it's good extra money, and I love children. I would have loved to have a lot more kids. That it didn't happen. And I took care of, I won't even say how many or where. I took care of this family for a very short period of time. And when I went to this person's house, they had said they were having demolition done in the house. Let's just say demolition. All right. And all right, so the place was, from what I could see where the person took me to just, do the interview, it looked like demolition. And I took the job. Then when I went back, after picking up these children and really got a look at the whole place, I quit. I quit immediately. I quit. I know there's a show called Hoarders and this and that. This was not Hoarders. These people, this woman lived, and I really probably think that these kids got taken away from this person because it was that bad.
Oh, jeez.
It was that bad. I mean, those kids would have been better off living in a cardboard box behind a store. That's how bad. That was the worst job. But it was only one day. It was one day. That was the worst job that I ever had. And it was only one day. Otherwise, I've had bad jobs that I dealt with. I mean, look, I was a school bus driver for 23 years. And I want to say, anybody that's a school bus driver, God bless you. Because that is one of the hardest motherfucking jobs you can ever have in your life, outside of probably being a teacher. But being a school bus driver was rough. But then, I was funny. I got along with my kids. Once I got up there in status, I did private schools and high schools, and my kids loved me. I loved them. I mean, they would tell me things that they couldn't even tell their parents, ask me for advice. You can't do that stuff anymore. But I did that. You could get away with it. But, I still bump into them.
Yeah, that's great.
I'll be in the mall and I'll hear Miss Nancy, and I'll be going, oh, shit. Because I know I'm not going to recognize this person. And they'll, now you're married with children. It's like, and this one goes, now this is my granddaughter. I'm like, I'm done.
Oh, my God.
I'm done.
My mom was a school bus driver, and she would always say that, she's like, I'm the first face they see in the morning, other than their mom, and I'm the last, face they see it the way out. Because she's like, I don't want to be grumpy. She's my mom's, good morning, and got the bus all decorated and stuff. She's like, it's important.
Oh, yeah. We should decorate the bus for all the holidays. Can't do that anymore.
Oh, really?
Used to be, oh, yeah. No,
God.
No, you can't do anything. Used to decorate, used to give them candy, used to give them gifts. Can't do that anymore. Now they have cameras inside, outside, because crazy parents. I mean, there are crazy parents out there.
Oh, my Lord.
That have attacked bus drivers and this and that. Oh, my God. I mean, I've seen it in my own... I mean, never had... Well, it did actually happen to me. That's another story. But I can't talk about that litigation.
Oh my God.
So,
Favorite thing to cook?
favorite thing to cook. Benny, what's my favorite thing to cook? I love to cook. I love to cook. Benny and I didn't get fat for no reason. I'm not cooking as much. But, all right. So I'm going to say Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
All right. Because we go to his cousins for Thanksgiving, although we didn't this year. And then the next day, Benny always gets a turkey from work. So then the next day or that Saturday, I make a big meal just for the three of us. And we have it for the entire week.
Yes.
Because I just can't make small portions. I haven't learned how to do that yet. And everything I make is for like 30 people. That's why I say come over for dinner. Everybody come over for dinner.
Everyone. When was the last time you sang to yourself or someone else?
On the way here.
Okay. You're singing in the car?
I sing everywhere.
If you could have a superpower, what superpower would you pick?
Whoa. If I had a superpower, it would probably be something like becoming one of the X-Men or something like that, where I could,
Wolverine.
Yeah, like Wolverine or something, and be able to stop all the wars. Just,
Okay.
I'm not even going to name them. We know them. We know where they are, what's going
wars.
on. I want to go around and just tell them, knock it off. Just pick them up and shake them and say, knock it off. Everyone has to get along with everybody. And then just whip up the like Superman, get a big lasso and whip up the bad guys and throw them in jail. Wouldn't that be great? That would be great.
I'm wishing for it. Something on your bucket list.
My bucket list is so long we don't have that much time.
One thing. Place you want to see?
Costa Rica.
Oh, nice.
All right. That is on my bucket list. Go to Costa Rica. Kathy, we're going to Costa Rica. Benny won't go there either. He won't.
Benny. Well, at least you have other people to travel with you.
Oh, yeah. No, Kathy. Kathy retired a year ago, a school bus driver. And she has a house out in Southold. I'm there in the summertime a lot. Matter of fact, I'm going out there February 3rd because in Riverhead, they're having the Julia Scott, and they're having the Ladies of Comedy at the Riverhead Theater.
Oh, nice.
It's sold out.
Wonderful.
It sold it out. I found out about it. There was 5 seats left.
Oh, my God.
So I said, so we're doing this on the phone. Kathy, you got to do it. Just do it. He's just, well, where do you want to sit? I said, look, Kathy, while you're deciding where it goes, that one's gone now. I said, I don't want you sitting over there and I'm sitting over here. Take these 2 on the balcony. It's right up front.
Beautiful.
It's right up front. I'll bring binoculars. No, we go there all the time. I won't need, but and then I'm gonna go backstage afterwards and say hello to everybody. Her kitty, who's deaf, just ran out of the house. She lives in Jersey, and she's had the cat. I get crazy with that. She's been gone 2 days, I think, the cat.
Oh.
So I don't, I got my fingers crossed she's going to find her baby.
No. That's sad.
But these are headlining comedians. They are freaking hilarious.
That's great.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of fun. I like to do some like snack slash food questions.
Ooh.
Do you like, for maple syrup, like cheap maple syrup, or do you like expensive?
So I was raised on the crap that most people give their children. All right? That's, I don't care.
The
log cabin, Aunt Jemima. All it is
Butterworth.
Fruit Tooth. It's Mrs. Butterworth. There's no maple syrup in this, people. No maple syrup. It's fructose and food coloring. Okay? There's no maple in the syrup. I just need that. You all know that. Cough up the $8 and go buy real maple syrup.
No, it's not a matter of the price. I really like the cheap stuff.
Oh my God. Do you know how bad that shit is for you?
Oh, probably.
It's 100% sugar.
I know, I might as well.
And it's artificial flavoring. There's no maple. There's no maple. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nothing is maple. Once you start having real maple syrup, you will never go back to that shit.
I'm going to turn a new page.
Come on.
Because Glenn's got the nice stuff in there.
Smart man, Glenn. Where is Glenn?
He's working. He works nights.
He works nights?
Yeah. Yeah, he
Oh,
works
in the
in
hospital,
schools.
right?
No,
Oh,
no.
schools.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
does construction in schools.
Oh, construction.
Yeah, well, doors mainly.
Oh. Benny used to work nights. When we first, that's why we were together. Benny used to work nights, and I would work days. And when Ryan was first born, he worked nights, and I worked. We had one car, mine, and and then he switched. And once we got to the house, and Ryan got older, Ryan would say, "Daddy, I don't see you," and then he switched to days.
Aw.
So he's been doing days ever since. But he still works full time. He gets up at 4:30 every morning and goes to work 5 days a week.
Wow.
Yeah, he still does that, and he has the show and everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's
dedicated
I don't
man.
give him enough credit.
Aw. Go home and tell him
He's
that.
in bed by now, so I can say whatever I want.
Would you butter in the fridge or on the counter?
Well, it's on the counter till I put it back in the refrigerator. So because I have high cholesterol and I'm on steroids, we have the margarine, but the good margarine. Is a good margarine. I like the tubs. I don't like the sticks in the margarine. And we have sweet butter and we have lightly salted butter. But when you wake up in the morning and you have your coffee, you have to take the butter out because you can't spread the butter because it's a stick and it's hard. Unless you get the whipped butter, which my husband's too cheap for because he goes to Costco and he's got to get the sticks. I like the whipped, but that's expensive. It was $1.02, and now it's like $5. Well, So you can leave butter out on the counter for up to 8 hours.
Okay.
And it stays nice and soft. But otherwise, you're going to chop it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm all about the butter being room temp.
Yeah.
The hierarchy of the following items, least to greatest. Cheese balls, cheese doodles, crunchy cheese doodles.
Okay. I am a cheese ball
Aholic.
And it doesn't have to be, it could be the cheese balls, could be the white cheddar, it could be good stuff, it could be the pirate stuff, it could be the crap stuff, it could be the stuff in the jar. I don't like the crunchy, the real twisty hard, because I have fake teeth.
Oh, okay.
And so
Yeah, no, I don't like, those are the least to me too, the crunchy
and
ones.
they don't taste the same. And it's too much work. I want to put it in my mouth. I want it to melt. Now I have to go out and buy them.
The only thing is the puffs do get stuck to the roof of your mouth.
Oh, I'm forever going scratching it. But here's the thing. For all those people with dentures, and I had the kind that will go up to, but because I smoked cigarettes, which my husband still hasn't quit, and it'll be 14 years this August that I quit.
God bless. That's amazing.
Another reason why I'm fat. But I had gum disease. So I spent $10,000 on getting them drilled in, and then my bone went. And I was eating a piece of chicken. Just like a soft piece. I made it, so I know it's soft. I got a little piece of chicken, I'm chewing it. And all of a sudden I'm hearing crunchy things in my mouth, and I'm like,
God.
And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, I think my husband thought I was dying, and I spit it out. My teeth,
My God.
they dropped out with the posts. 10,000. I had them for about. I had them about 3 or 4 years, and that was it. And then I had to have gum surgery. Some of them stayed. Then they had to put a Dava bone in there. So I got some dead person's bone in my mouth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm like, is it a rich person? Is it a female? Do we have any information on anything?
Yeah.
Am I going to have, wonderful brain things? And no. So I had to do that so I could have dentures.
Wow.
But there was one tooth back there that always stayed, and we don't know why. We think it's some kind of an alien thing is actually in my brain that was put there. I was taken up by aliens, and they put this metal things. One tooth is good, one big wisdom tooth back here, and there's a hole in my denture which helps it stay on.
Wow.
If I lose that tooth, the dentures will probably go flying.
Thank God for that alien tooth.
Yeah, I have an alien tooth in there, and that's what's keeping it going.
Have you heard anything about aliens being among us more recently than?
There's been a lot more sightings.
The thing in Florida, did you follow up on
Yes,
that at
of course
all?
I did.
Yeah.
I follow everything. I am retired. I'm in front of that television on my freaking. I don't do anything on a computer. I don't even know how to work a computer. Everything that I do is on my cell phone. I am fucking amazing.
You need an iPad. How you
I
work
have
it?
an iPad.
You don't like the iPad?
Benny spent the money. This is my third iPad. Benny spent the money. The guy said, it's the easiest thing. It's foolproof. She'll have no problem. I can't get into it. I forgot my password.
Oh, no.
I have to take it to a place. I have to break into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, it's okay. It's fine. And that's why I lost a lot of my things, because I used to run Facebook comedy profiles. What are they called?
The fan pages.
Fan pages. I couldn't think of the word fan. So I ran a lot of fan, like Terry McNeely. I started his fan page out, which I think is up to like, I don't know, 100,000 people. Finally, I just gave it to him because we were having political disagreements. And I'm like, just take your damn page now, God. But I love him to pieces. No, we're friends. So I run a lot of, I still do. I don't get paid for it, and I should, but I don't ask for it. Like Janice Massetti, she's so sweet. She got me this beautiful. No, I'm not wearing it, Janice. And I know you're looking. Well, no, it's Wednesday. You're working. She got me a beautiful when we did the show over in Governors in the Giggle Room.
Okay.
Benny wanted to do a show, and he wants to do another one, but they're like booked. The Giggle Room became famously booked now, but we're gonna do some shows. And so that's what they do. They pay me in things. Or they'll come and they'll be on the show. I'm like, you don't have to give me anything. Just come on the Good Show, God damn it. So that's what that. Teddy Smith is in California right now doing a movie. And I said, are you going to be back? Because he's supposed to be on our show the 23rd.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So am I allowed to talk about that?
Oh, absolutely. You're allowed to talk about anything you want. What is your love language? Do you know the love
Get
language?
the fuck away from me. I'm 70-something years old. She's closed.
Well, it's obviously not touch
Spiderwebs.
if you're sleeping in separate beds. It's obviously not touch.
Well, no.
Well, because do you know what they are? Because we were just going over this. My aunts were going over this.
What, menopause?
No, the 5 love languages.
5 love languages.
Yes.
No, you got me on this one.
Okay, so it's physical touch,
Physical touch.
gifts, words of affirmation, spending time together, which is like me and you talking, no phones. And then the last one is touch, words of affirmation, and gifts, and then like doing things.
Okay.
So those
together?
are yeah.
All right, so we do together, and we talk and we touch every second and fourth Tuesday of the month on the Good Show from what time are we on? From 7:30 to 8:30.
Oh, I was gonna ask what time you
On
have to be there.
StrongIsland.com. That's when we do all this. What she said.
Okay, that's when you give each other gifts.
Yeah, on the second and fourth Tuesday of every month. Twice a month we do this.
Very nice.
I probably missed one of the 5, but yeah, we actually have a conversation, and we don't even plan it. We don't like. Usually we take separate cars to go there.
God.
Well, sometimes I'm picking somebody up at the train station, but
Oh my God.
but when the weather's bad, we drive in my car because I got the big car. He's got the little car that I can't even fit into. I could never get out of that car. You have to hoist me out with literally hoist me out of it.
The jaws of life.
The jaws of life. Just get me. It's like, I don't even know how he died. Because if you're sitting on the ground. He's got one of those little sports cars. It's like you sit in the ground, and once you're in, you're like, all right, I don't like this when I can see the tires of the car next to me.
my
I'm like,
God.
no. Mine you just like walk into. It's like, I have the big SUV. the Suburban. I like that kind of car. But yeah, we don't even plan what we're going to say on the show. We're together 32 years.
Yeah,
Everybody says, when we did it, and because Jen Snortland, who was a phenomenal co-host, and all of a sudden it's like, well, she didn't want to do this show, so I did it. And it's like, oh, the chemistry between the two of you is incredible. You guys are fantastic. You should do the show together. We haven't done the show in 10 years together because we live together. We don't want to do it together. But all right, so so I did another show. All right. And then it's like, Oh, no, this is it. You got to do it. And I didn't. All right, so we did. And we got so many likes and so many reviews and
Aw.
emails and texts and people joining us on social media and everything. And I'm like, fuck.
Created a monster.
I said, now I got to do this. And I like it.
Aw, that's
I
great,
like it.
though.
It's
Well, I'm
good.
going to be on the show. You invited me on February 27th.
Yes, February 27th.
Tell me what time?
Mandy is going to be. You're going to meet us at the pizza place next door by 7.
Okay.
So listen to this, suckers that have other podcasts. Not her, because she gave me water. We buy you dinner. Yes, we buy you dinner before you go on the show, because it makes you happy. There's a beautiful, clean bathroom. You go to the bathroom. You're happy. You're happy. You're fed. It's 7 o'clock on a Tuesday. You're hungry. Don't eat before you come on our show. Everybody raves about the food next door. So, I mean, Janice Massetti, she brought a friend. We treated everybody. They had the chicken parmesan, and all she was doing was talking about how she needed to go sit down and finish eating her chicken. And then she called me up the next day. I'm having the chicken for breakfast. I'm like, all right, whatever. So when you're coming back, when I come back, I'm going to try the other eggplant parmesan.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, all right, sweetheart, whatever you want.
Oh, well,
I
that's
love her.
nice. I owe you dinner.
No. We just do either that, because we get people that come from Manhattan.
Yeah.
Janice and Big Red. It took them 3 hours
Oh, my God.
to get there. Yeah, in traffic. So I said, next time, do like Bob Greenberg and everybody else. You take the train. The train is right across the street from the studio.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to deal with the factor of traffic.
Yeah, and if you don't want dinner, then we pay for your car fare or you pay for your train fare.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
That's nice of you guys.
Yeah. If you want to, for you, we'll have a limo come pick you up. And Tony Landolfi is going to be on the 23rd with you.
Yeah, 27th.
Oh, the 27th.
Yes, that's
Yes,
going
the
to be fun.
23rd is going to be Teddy Smith talking about his new movie.
Oh, great.
Teddy is not going to be. Teddy is originally from Maryland. He's not, and he's done governors and all 3 governors and everything. He's not going to be around Manhattan much longer. I feel that he's going to end up hitting it big now because we saw his other movie. He's going to end up being in Hollywood. We lost Tim Hamune like that. Tim Hamune, another person so Benny, my husband, Rizzuti, Rizzuti for those that have bought the calendar and it's spelt wrong, and some people will get that. He used to have, what was it called? We used to kid. It was a Crappy Cake Cafe. So there was a bakery with a thing on the side where they had a room for cappuccino and stuff like that. And Benny used to run an open mic there in Islip for years. And then he did it in Bayshore at Porgy and Glenn's at the time. It was called Porgy and Glenn's, which is a restaurant right on the water there. And Joe Starr, and oh my God, I mean, I couldn't even begin to name, Rich Walker, all the big comedians that, not that they were just starting out, a lot of them were just starting out, but they would practice all their new stuff there. And it was a wonderful time. It was fantastic. And Tim, we know Tim since he's knee high to a grasshopper. No, he was in his 20s, and now he's happily married, a 3-year-old little girl, fanning his wife, beautiful. And he does a lot of stuff. And they've all been in movies. And John Joseph, they do. They go on these ships and they go around on the ships. John Joseph has gone all over the world. And I personally know John from way back when. I mean, I gave him his cake for his 21st birthday at a bar. And I used to be barmaid and the bartender at this, it was called the Forbidden Forest in Woodbury, which is where he used to perform. And he wasn't that much of a stand-up comedian. He was more of a musician and a writer, and he would sing songs and parodies and stuff, and he was brilliant, and I knew he was going to go far. I didn't see him for like 40 years. all of a sudden I see he's going to be at John Glenn, where my son went to college. I can't even think of it. In Dix Hills. Anyway.
It's not Suffolk.
No. In Dix Hills, it's Five Towns.
Oh, okay.
Five Towns. Some big people came out of that. The Maroon 5 went to Five Towns.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so we went there and we saw him. And I hadn't seen him in, I don't know, maybe 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So then he was on the show, but I wasn't there. I was away at the time. But Jen got to meet him. I don't know where that ended up stemming from.
Well, that's our hour. No,
that's it.
That's our
That's
hour.
why I keep telling my husband, we need a 2-hour show.
They go quick. Do you have anything else you want to promote?
I just want everybody to watch our show, The Gagoot Show, which you can find on Instagram and Facebook. And I run 1 million pages. And just look for Nancy Rizzuti and follow Nancy Rizzuti around all the social media pages. And she's going to be on our show, on The Gagoot Show, StrongIsland.com, February 27th with Tony Lidelfi.
Yes. And I will share that information again. So
I'm going to make up a thing.
All right. So that's the show. It. Thank you very
I
much.
got to come back. I got so much more to tell everybody.
I know. We'll have you back.
Be safe. Be careful with the ice out there.
Yes. Everybody, please. Seriously.
It's bad out there.
Jeez.
It's bad. But thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes. Thank you.